What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Script Academy welcoming you to our next live duel here on the channel. Today we're doing my Fur Hire deck versus Gabe's Krawler deck. Both of those have actually just had deck profiles, so go ahead and check those. There's going to be a card up at the top right you can hover over, and the card will be there so you can go ahead and check out both of those deck profiles if you want to. Today we're trying out a new format for the live duel where, because of the glare that's actually from the lights in our locals, the cards that we're going to be using are going to be popping up on the screen as I talk. That way, if you want to and you don't realize what the card effect is and whatnot, you can actually just pause the video and check it out so you can actually read it. A lot of times if somebody says a card, you can't tell what a card is and you don't know really what it is. This time, when the card is played, it'll pop up on the screen and you'll be able to see what it is and what the effects actually are for it. So, starting off the duel, he is going to go ahead and activate his Scapegoat, getting his 4 tokens. Now, Scapegoat is an amazing card for any deck, really, as long as you're able to get it off in your opponent's end phase. Because when he does it, he can actually go ahead and start linking off all of those tokens and get a pretty big boss monster. We are going to go ahead and see his first Scapegoat go into Link Spider here. From there, he's going to go ahead and flip summon his Krawler Spine. As I said, that is how the effects are going to be popping up on the screen. Each card that's summoned or effect activating, it's going to be popping up on the screen. That way you can know what's activating at the time, as well as being able to pause the video and read the effect if you wish to do so. He's going to go ahead and take those other 2 tokens on his field and go into an X-Krawler Synapsis and use that last token for his Link Spider. So now he's got 3 links on the field as well as his spine, and he's got 2 cards face down to my 2 cards face down. He's then going to take his 2 Link Spiders and his Synapsis, and he's going to be linking again to a Link 4. And that Link 4 that he's going to be choosing is going to be Boral Sword. Now, Boral Sword is an amazing card that actually allows you to OTK your opponent quite easily in most decks. So if you're able to get that out and you're able to get past anything on your opponent's side of the field, like right now when I don't have anything, it's going to be pretty easy to OTK me. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and take 1 card and set it face down. He's going to go ahead and attack me for a great 300. Then he's going to activate his Boral Sword's effect, changing his spine to defense to be able to attack me twice for 6,000 damage, taking me all the way down to 1,700 life points. He's going to go ahead and set 1 card and pass turn, and we'll see if I can actually do anything. So here I'm going to go ahead and activate my Sky Striker Mobilize Engage, because I control no cards or monsters in my main monster zones, being able to add 1 Sky Striker card. We're going to go ahead and add Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones is an amazing card for a lot of decks, but for Fur Hires especially, because when you activate your Hornet Drones and you get yourself your token, you can actually get really quickly into your Folga. So we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a token here and Link Summon 1 into our Kagari. Kagari's effect is going to go ahead and activate, targeting the Hornet Drones, but he's actually going to chain his Bottomless Trap hold to the summon. So we are actually going to get the Kagari effect to add back a Sky Striker spell in your graveyard, but it's going to get banished. So it's kind of ruined all of the ideas that I was actually going to be going for here, which was going to be going for Folga right away. So we are going to have to figure out something else instead. So that token is gone because we used it for our Kagari, and then we are going to be go ahead and targeting one of our spells in our graveyard, adding it back to hand, and then Kagari is going to be banished. So we'll have to see how we can actually get past this Boral Sword and company. Now, because Krawlers is a flip summon deck, they do play a lot of traps because they want to be able to stall until the next turn when they can start flip summoning. So we are going to add back that Mobilize Engage, and we're going to be going ahead and activating it, adding another Sky Striker card to my hand. This time we're going to be adding Afterburners to my hand. That way we can use that to hopefully pop that Boral Sword. We're going to go ahead and double check this Boral Sword, make sure it can actually be destroyed by card effects. And then we're going to go ahead and get to work. If you are enjoying this new format of live duel here on the channel, make sure to let me know down in the comment section below. If you do see some things that you think should be done differently, let me know as well, because we are going to be keeping on changing things until we get it right. I'm actually in the middle of editing another video now, and it's going to be a little bit different than this one, so be sure to check that one out as well and let me know what you think for that one. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and activate that Afterburners here. Afterburners is going to target the Boral Sword, destroying it. Unluckily for me, I don't control 3 or more spells up until now when Afterburners is in the grave, so I can't use its secondary effect to pop 1 spell or trap on the field. That would have been really nice for me to do because he does have 2 set back row, and I really need to figure out a way to get past those as soon as possible. We are going to go ahead and activate our Sky Striker Mecha Widow Anchor, targeting his spine to negate its effect, but most importantly, we're going to be taking control of it. So hopefully we're going to be able to do something by linking off with that, and we don't have to worry about attacking into it or having him be able to flip it back face down and use its effect. Alrighty, so I think right here, yeah, right here, we're going to normal summon ourselves our Beat Blazeman for hire. And then we're going to go ahead and link summon with our Beat Blazeman for hire and his Krawler Spine into Nightmare Phoenix. Now, Nightmare Phoenix on summon is going to go ahead and discard for cost, activating his effect to target 1 face down. And of course, I have to target the compulsory evacuation device. If I just target the other one, even though the compulse would probably still go off, at least I would have gotten rid of 2 cards instead of just 1. That's just my luck though. Alright, so from there we're going to go ahead and end our turn. On his turn, he's going to go ahead and normal summon, or flip summon Krawler Receptor, activating his effect, but I am going to go ahead and chain my effect Veiler, negating its effect. So hopefully that can kind of slow him down just a bit, because I believe he only has 1 card in hand. He's just going to go ahead and attack, bringing me all the way down to 800 life points. Alrighty, main phase 2, he's going to go ahead and activate his Card of Demise, allowing him to draw 3 more cards, even though he's going to have to discard his hand at the end phase. Doesn't matter when you're playing pretty much all traps. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and activate his World Legacy Survivor here, allowing him to look at the top 5 cards of his deck, adding 1 Krawler World Legacy card to his hand. He is going to add I believe that was a Krawler Lyle, I'm pretty sure it was, and the rest go to the grave. It's pretty handy because you can get your Mind Melds to the grave as well as your Lost Winds. He's going to set 1 card face down, set it 3 in the back row, and end his turn. Or set 2 in the back row and end his turn. Alright, so I even got an even bigger worry to worry about now, because I have all those cards in his back row I got to deal with. And it looks like I have nothing in my grave to even think about helping me out. So we'll have to see if I can actually get anything done. It looks like I'm going to go ahead and just scoop up, and we're going to be going to game 2. Game 1 was pretty hard for me because he chose to go first, and I can't really break boards. So if you are going to be playing Fur Hires anytime in your life, make sure you go in first, because going second really sucks for this deck. Hopefully going first this game I can actually get something going though. We'll see. Alright, so we're going to start off by activating Reinforcement of the Army, searching the only warrior in the entire deck, Beat Blazeman for hire. So our stratus of the deck and allows us to search out anything we need once per turn. So during our turn, our opponent's turn, any turn, as long as it's once per turn, we can do it. Alright, from there we are going to be going ahead and activating our Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones is going to go ahead and get us our token. And this time we don't have to worry about Bottomless Trap Hole hitting our Kagari. So Kagari is going to go ahead and activate its effect, adding back the Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones is going to get ourselves another token. And from there we can actually get going and start doing some actual things with the Fur Hires. I'm excited because this time we actually get to do things and get to show off the deck, unlike last match, or last game I should say. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and normal summon our Dampa Marksman for hire. And then we're going to go ahead and use Dampa, Kagari, and our token, and we're going to be link summoning into Folga Justice for hire. Now on summon, Folga can go ahead and special summon one for hire monster that with a different type than the ones used for his link summon. So I believe we had a beast, a machine, and then whatever, I can't remember what the other one was. There was one other, whatever the other one was. Whatever those 3 were. But we are going to go ahead and special summon our Seal Strategist for hire. And he's a spellcaster, so we don't even have to worry about it. Now Seal's going to go ahead and special summon our Beat Blazeman for hire. Seal's effect is going to go ahead and activate, allowing us to add the Dampa back. Then Beat's going to activate his effect, special summoning the Dampa we just added back. And then Beat's effect is going to activate. So there's a lot of recursion here where we get to go ahead and add from graveyard, add from deck, and lots of different things going on here. So as you can see, our field is slowly swarming up, and maybe that's why this deck is tier 1 or tier 0 on Duel Links. Who knows? Alright, from there we're going to go ahead and activate Dampa's effect, special summoning our Raphael, Champion for Hire. Champion for Hire's effect is going to go ahead and activate, allowing us to look at the top 4 cards of our deck and add 1 to our hand. And I think we're going to go ahead and add the Mayhem for Hire to our hand. Now, Full Good Justice for Hire does have a special effect where if a card is destroyed on our opponent's side of the field while he's on the field, you get to draw a card. But if you control 3 or more for hires, you get to draw 3 cards instead. That's why if you check out our deck profile, you'll actually see that we actually have a lot of hand traps. So when we destroy something with for hires on our field, we can draw 3 cards, draw into our hand traps, and then be able to stop our opponent on their next turn. Alright, so from there we're going to be taking the Dampa and the Seal and Link Summoning. And I think right here is where I make my first misplay, where I should have gone into Cerebus, but I think I actually chose Phoenix instead. Yeah, so there's the Phoenix on the field, and I definitely should have chosen the Cerebus instead. Phoenix should have been saved for later when he sets all of his back row up. We're going to go ahead and set 1 card and end our turn. We'll see what he can do, because this deck usually just has setting cards and setting more cards and setting some more cards and then ending their turn. Alright, so he is going to go ahead and activate his World Legacy Survivor, looking at the top 5 cards of his deck, and I'm pretty sure I asked him every single time he activated it what it did, because I can just never remember it. Alright, so he reveals his 5 cards, and he's going to add the Mind Meld to his hand. Now, I had never actually seen Mind Meld before this duel, so make sure to pause the video when you get to it so you can read its effect, because I didn't actually even know what it did until he started activating the effects of it. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and set 1 monster face down, and then start setting his back row. Lots of back row. Even more back row than I thought. Alright, so he's setting 5 cards, so his entire hand is gone now. In the end phase, we are going to go ahead and activate Mayhem for Hire, special summoning our Seal to the field. Beats effect is going to activate on summon, allowing us to add 1 for Hire monster to our hand. Alright, looks like we're going to be adding the Recon, our only set card destruction that we have. So adding Recon off of the Beats effect. Alright, so we'll go ahead and draw for turn. And we have to try and get through all of that back row, as well as a set monster, which does have an effect when it's face up. So we have to worry about that as well. Alright, looks like we're going to be going ahead and activating Seal's effect to special summon 1 monster from our hand to the field. Special summoning Recon Scout for Hire. Now Seal's effect is going to activate on summon, as well as Beat Blazeman for Hire. Now Beat's going to add 1 card from deck to hand, and Seal's going to add 1 from graveyard to hand. Alright, looks like we're going to be going ahead and adding Wiz from the deck to our hand with Beats effect, and then we can add 1 from the graveyard to hand off of Seal. Alrighty, from there we do have lots to deal with on his side of the field, so let's go ahead and start trying to get rid of some things. Like I said, I did wish I had saved that Phoenix up until now, because we could have started popping some set things. Alright, looks like we're going to use the Seal and Phoenix to go into Nightmare Unicorn. Activating his effect to discard the Engage I'm never going to use in the rest of this duel. Targeting his set monster, that way we don't have to worry about attacking into it later on. Looks like he's going to go ahead and chain his Lost Wind, targeting my Unicorn, having his attack and defense and negating its effects. Which is unfortunate for us because now we still have 4 back row to go through, as well as a set monster. Alright, looks like we are going to go ahead and activate Beat's effect to special summon from hand. And we have lots of special summoning to do for the rest of this turn. Looks like he's going to go ahead and activate his World Legacy Pawns. Now, World Legacy Pawns isn't actually going to activate his effect, he's just activating the card, so no need to worry about that just yet. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and special summon Beat off, or Domp off of Beat's effect. Recon's effect is going to activate, targeting his middle set card. And of course, every single time that I think that I targeted anything to destroy it in this match, he activated it and chained off of it. So, whatever. He's going to go ahead and chain his impermanence after we targeted it to destroy, targeting his my Dompa, so its effect is not going to be able to activate, as well as we're not going to be able to use its effect to special summon for the rest of the turn. Now he is going to go ahead and activate his pawns, and I'm going to chain my Ghost Ogre to try and destroy it. And unlucky for me, he's going to have the Called by the Grave, so all of these cards just to try and negate everything that I have. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and draw our 3 cards off of our Folga because we control 3 or more for hires. And someone's going to go ahead and bump my camera. So it's going to get a little wonky, but bear with us. Hopefully we can get that fixed later on in the match. Alright, so from there we're going to go ahead and take the Recon and our Dompa, and we're going to Exceed some. Which, now that I'm looking at this, I have no idea how I even did that. So that was definitely a misplay on my part, for sure. I should have put it into the other zone. So just imagine that that card right there is in the zone on the other side of Raphael, because I'm not even sure why it's sitting over there. Either way, he does to go ahead and activate Mind Meld, chaining to the Sundayu's effect, targeting his Axon to go ahead and return it back to hand, and Axon's effect will activate. So we're going to go ahead and just pretend like that Sundayu is on the other side of the field where the Folga is pointing to, instead of where it currently is, because I have no idea why I even put it over there. So Axon's effect is going to activate because it was returned to hand, and we're going to go ahead and activate Raphael's effect, discarding 1 for a higher monster, and negating Axon's effect, special summon 2 Krawlers face down. Luckily for us, our misplay didn't actually hurt anything, because we do have 1 spot open on our field for our Sundayu, so just kind of bear with us here, and it'll be off the field as soon as possible. Alright, so there's our Sundayu gone off the field, as well as Unicorn, going into our Boral Sword. Now we're going to go ahead and enter our battle phase and attempt to attack with Folga for 2400 attack. He's looking through his grave, seeing what he can do to try and stop, because I believe if he can't stop this, it is going to be an OTK. He's going to go ahead and activate his Mind Meld. Now Mind Meld has an interesting effect where you can banish it, and you can target 1 monster in the field that has link arrows, and then special summon 1 Krawler face down to an arrow that is pointing to. So he's going to go ahead and dig through his deck, looking for a Krawler to special summon to the point where my Folga is pointing to. And I believe it's Spine, so we definitely don't want to attack into that, because it'll just destroy anything that it points, or that he wants on the field. And we've already used our fail as well, so that's kind of unfortunate for us. Alright, looks like we're going to go ahead and set one. And pass our turn. Hopefully he can't do too much to us. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and flip summon his Spine. Now Spine's going to go ahead and target... Who? Who are you going to target with your Spine, sir? He's going to go ahead and target a Boral Sword. Now we're going to go ahead and chain our fail effect, discarding our Whiz from our hand to negate the Spine's effect. From there, he's just going to go ahead and set one face down and activate Card of Demise. So he's going to go ahead and draw 3 cards and hopefully have to discard all of them. We'll see though. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and activate World Legacy Survivor. He keeps drawing this card off of Demise, I think. Go ahead and reveal 5 cards off the top of his deck. Add 1 World Legacy or Krawler card to his hand, adding the Krawler Receptor, one of those two, I couldn't tell, and discarding the rest. He'll then set another card, and have to discard 2. He's going to go ahead and activate his pawns, though, in the end phase, and I'm going to chain my Ghost Ogre. Now Ghost Ogre is going to go ahead and destroy his face-up trap, and Focus is going to allow me to draw 3 cards because I control 3 or more for higher. So that's going to give me lots of card advantage here to be able to go off on my next turn. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and draw for turn here, and hopefully we can do some stuff to try and get rid of his 2 back row as well as his... we don't have to worry about the Spine as much as what was set face down. We're going to go ahead and activate Beats Effect, special summoning our Seal to the field. Beats Effect is going to activate, allowing us to add 1 for higher monster from our deck to our hand. We're going to go ahead and add our Recon. Now Recon is going to be able to start popping away at those face down cards and hopefully get us some more draws off our Folga. Alright, so Seal's effect is going to activate, being able to special summon 1 from our hand. All of them had that same effect where you can special summon 1, as long as it's not Refail or Whiz. So Seal's effect is going to activate on the summon of Recon, allowing me to add 1 for higher monster back from our graveyard to our hand. So we're going to go ahead and add our Whiz back to our hand. Now that's something I definitely should have gotten on the field because we could negate a spell or trap, which would have been very nice. There we go, bumping our camera again. I'm definitely have to work on finding a better stable spot at our locals to go ahead and set that up. Alright, looks like we're going to be using our Beat and our Seal as well as our Folga to go ahead and link summon into another Folga. Now Folga is not going to be able to special summon a Beast Warrior, a Beast, or a Beast Warrior, or Warrior, I believe is what I used there. So he's not going to be able to special summon any of those, but he can special summon something else instead. There I am reading the card to him to make sure that he understands it. So his effect is going to activate, allowing me to special summon 1 for a higher monster. Looks like we're going to be going ahead and special summoning our Refail Champion for higher. Now Refail's effect is going to activate on summon, allowing me to look at the top 2 cards of our deck and add 1 of them to hand. And he's going to go ahead and chain his Bottomless Trap Hole. banishing our fail, but we do get to go ahead and look at the top 2 cards anyway. So it looks like we have the Beat and Called by the Grave. We're going to go ahead and add the Called by the Grave to the hand so we can stop any kind of hand traps that he might have later on. Now we are at our live local here, so we're definitely watching the clock. So as time starts to tick down, you'll definitely see us frantically start activating things and trying to get as quick as we can on our turns. So Recon's effect is going to activate on the summon of a Bravo, targeting the Lost Wind. Obviously he's going to activate it because every time I target anything, he's going to activate it. So Focus effect is going to activate, allowing me to draw some cards here. And realizing how much card advantage I have in my hand now, he is just going to go ahead and go to game 3 here. Now time is ticking down on us, so we are going to be trying to hurry up as quick as possible because those new time rules really suck. And yet again, he's going to go ahead and go first this time because he knows that I can't break boards with this deck. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and activate World Legacy Survivor, looking at the top 5 cards of his deck. Adding the Goliath, I believe, and sending the rest to grave. And it's at this point where I think that he doesn't have a very good hand, because he's going to go ahead and summon a Krawler Axon and set 1 card and pass his turn. Definitely not something you want to see when you're going to be playing with Crawlers. We're going to start off by activating our Reinforcement of the Army here, allowing us to add the one and only warrior in the deck, Beat Blazeman for Hire. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Beat Blazeman for Hire here, activating its effect, and he's going to chain Mind Meld. The Mind Meld's effect is going to change my effect to targeting 1 card on his field, returning it to its hand. He's going to go ahead and target the Axon here, and I can't do anything about it. So Axon's effect is going to activate when it returns to hand, special summoning 2 Crawlers to the field. But wait, I do have an Ash Blossom, so I'm going to go ahead and activate that Ash Blossom here, negating that effect. So go ahead and shuffle those back into the deck, Gabe, huh? How about that? Alright, looks like his field is clear. We don't have to worry about anything right now, so we're going to go ahead and enter the battle phase. Going to set 1 card and attack for a strong 1200 attack, knocking him down to 6800. He's going to go and set 1 and set another card in the back row and end his turn. Now it looks like time is ticking down really quickly, so we're going to go ahead and activate our Beats effect. He's going to chain the Forbidden Child, negating its effect. Now luckily for us, we do have more than one of those in our hands, so we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Seal Strategist for Hire here, special summoning a Beat Blazeman for Hire. But because the Beat Blazeman for Hire was Chalice, we can't activate the effect. Now here is another misplay that I did go ahead and do. I do realize that now, because I could have easily cleared out his set monster and then attacked for another 2200, which would have definitely put him into a tough position, seeing as how time was going down and his cards have to be set first before he can actually attack. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and use our Seal and our Beat Blazeman for Hire to go into Nightmare Cerebus, even though it can't even activate his effect because I can't target his set monster. Now, one good thing I should have done here was go ahead and use that other Beat and the Cerebus to go into Unicorn. That would have been pretty smart of me, but okay. In the end phase, he's going to go ahead and activate his Mind Meld, banishing it to special summon 1 Crawler face down to an arrow that is on his side of the field. So it looks like he's going to be summoning Spine, I believe. Yes, it's Crawler's Spine. That is the one that he's going to be summoning face down to an arrow on his side of the field. Alright, draw for turn, and we'll see what he can start doing here. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and flip summon that Krawler spine here, targeting my Cerebus to destroy it. I am going to go ahead and chain my Mayhem for a hire. Mayhem for a hire is going to go ahead and special summon one Seal Strategist for a hire from my graveyard. Cerebus is going to be destroyed, but Beat's effect is going to activate, allowing me to go ahead and add one for a hire from my deck to my hand. Looks like we're going to be adding Dampa Marksman for a hire. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and normal summon his Krawler Axon and use that in his spine to go ahead and link summon into his Subterror Behemoth Fiendus. Now, Subterror Behemoth Fiendus has a couple effects. First one of which doesn't actually activate because he didn't use any Subterrors. But he does have two additional effects that he can both be used once per turn. He can send one flip monster from his deck to the graveyard to add one, and if a monster is flip summoned, he can actually special summon one. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and flip summon his Krawler Glial, chaining the effect of his Phoenix because one was flip summoned. So Glial's going to go ahead and add one back from graveyard, or special one from graveyard, and then Phoenix is going to add one to hand. And then Phoenix's other effect is that he can send one flip monster to the grave to special summon one face down to an arrow it points to. So we'll go ahead and special summon that Morphing Jar face down. Next, he'll go ahead and enter his battle phase. Seeing that time's ticking down, he'll attack with his Fiendus into my Seal, attack over my Beat, and he'll attack for 300 with his Spine, taking me down to 77. Next up, he's going to go ahead and take his Fiendus, his Spine, and his Glial there, and link 4 into Borrelgar Dragon. A very unused card, but it actually works very well in this deck. Alright, so from there he's going to activate his Mind Meld, banishing it to special summon his Glial to an arrow that Borrelgar points to, and it has one that points directly down. Go ahead and set one card face down in his back row and end his turn. Now time is ticking down, so we'll see what I can do here. And it looks like we're going to be normal summoning Seal Strategist for hire. Now Borrelgar's effect is going to activate, targeting the set Morphing Jar. Morphing Jar is going to flip face up, and his effect is going to activate, causing me to discard, both of us to discard our hands and draw 5 cards. Now I do have an Ash Blossom in my hand, but you know what? We're going to go ahead and just discard it and draw 5 cards and refill our hand. See what we can draw into here. Alright, looks like we're going to be activating Steel's effect to special summon 1 for hire. That for hire being Bravo Fighter for hire. Now Steel's effect is going to activate on summon. allow me to add back the beat that I discarded from the morphine jar. Then we're going to activate Bravo's effect, special summoning our Beat Blazing for Hire, but he's going to chain the Book of Eclipse to the summon. So that's going to flip all of our cards face down, or all of our monsters anyway, to face down defense, which means I can't actually activate Beat's effect this turn. Which is very, very unfortunate for us. Because we did have that Raphael there, it would have been nice to go ahead and look at the top 3 cards of our deck. So we are going to go ahead and set 2 cards face down, and we're going to go ahead and end our turn here. Now Eclipse's effect is going to activate, making us flip all of our monsters back face up, and we can draw 3 cards for them. Now unfortunately for Gabe here, time does get called in the round because I did have higher life points. I do end up winning the duel, but it's a very great match to be able to see what kind of strategy that Krawlers actually do. So if you did enjoy this kind of video, did enjoy the format for it, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to hit that notification bell on the way out the door. But until next time guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nate from the Scrub Academy, signing out for now. Peace out!